Super Mario Odyssey is the 5th best-selling Switch game of all time, but did you know that its game files are littered with unused content? After spending weeks researching the game, I'll be covering the absolute plethora of unused content left over in the game files of Super Mario Odyssey for the Nintendo Switch. To understand why there is so much unused content left over in Super Mario Odyssey, we must first take a look at its development history. Word of Super Mario Odyssey was first spread in April of 2018 when Yoshiaki Koizumi, one of the two producers for Odyssey, revealed that the next 3D Mario game was already in development 5 months after the release of 3D World. However, Koizumi declined whether or not it will be on the Nintendo 3DS or the Wii U, and this will be the only news fans had of Odyssey until October 20th, 2016, when the Nintendo Switch was revealed to the world. Odyssey could be briefly seen in this reveal trailer, however, it was unnamed, and Nintendo refused to say anything about what was shown in the trailer, except for Breath of the Wild, as it was the launch title for the Switch. Looking at the Nintendo Switch reveal trailer, many changes were made, and could be seen in this one shot of the town in Sand Kingdom. There are fewer Toastarians in the final version, the moon is in a different position, the ice formations are different in the final version, the posters advertising Bowser's wedding are missing, and there's no checkpoint flag. The next instance we heard of Super Mario Odyssey was on January 12, 2017, when Nintendo showed off their brand new open world 3D Mario game named Super Mario Odyssey. Super Mario Odyssey was playable to the public at E3 2017, and the E3 trailer also revealed that Mario could use Cappy to capture different enemies and objects, taking over their souls. You know, sometimes I wonder what really happens when Mario captures an enemy. Eventually, on October 27, 2017, Super Mario Odyssey was released worldwide. Super Mario Odyssey has quite a number of unused graphics left over in its game files. To start, a 2D sprite of small Mario can be found in the game files. Most people don't know that Mario Odyssey's 2D sections actually use 3D models of Mario and his surroundings instead of sprites, which makes the sprite unused. A few sprites of 2D versions of Metro Kingdom's regional coins are also found in the game files, but they can only be found in their collected form. Now on to something a lot more interesting. An early version of the globe on the Odyssey can be found in the game files. You'll immediately notice that the used version is more vibrant and filled with color, while the unused version is kind of dull and has a blue tint pasted onto it. There is an image left over of the signboard text in New Donk City's texture files. The text varies in color and uses an old city feeling font or impact, and according to this file, Dixie Street was initially named Dixie Avenue. An early version of the New Donk City graffiti artwork can be found within the T-Rex area, and there are many changes between the original and final versions. Pauline's artwork was completely redone in the final version because her early artwork doesn't feel very E10 and up. The tower next to the NDC text was moved and redrawn, and the NDC text seems to be ever so slightly blurred. There are two unused captures left over in the game files, both found by Gra, who can be found in the oh my god. Who can be found in the description. The first unused capture is named Corn Boy. This weird looking 2-block tower can walk and has a charge ability that can be done with the X and Y button. Once charged, pressing the A button will make Corn Boy fly. The object data for Corn Boy is completely missing, meaning that the only existing thing for him is the code. Therefore, Gra had to make a custom object and custom animation for our Corn Boy here. Our second unused capture is named Space Shuttle, a capturable Mac object that would have been used to launch over our lovely player, with the base of the object being another object conveniently named Space Shuttle Child. Once captured, the object will be lifted from the Space Shuttle Child, and the two objects will be detached at the apex of the jump, where the player can then move around until the object hits the ground. It will then be forced to uncapture the object and its position will be reset. In Super Mario Odyssey, each kingdom has its own number of scenarios. Scenarios are versions of a kingdom that are different based on where you are in the game. For example, if you are visiting the Lost Kingdom for the first time and Cappy is stolen, that may be a different scenario than visiting the Lost Kingdom after beating the game. There are currently 4 unused level scenarios left over in the game files. Cloud Kingdom's 4th scenario is completely empty, the only things remaining being the Odyssey, the 3 cloud platforms leading up to the main island, and the hint art from the dark side. It's completely unknown what on earth this scenario is used for, but I think this may have allowed the developers to plant where they wanted to place the hint art moon, as it's the only one there. The Ruined Kingdom's 4th scenario doesn't open with a cutscene of the Odyssey, with it completely missing instead. The wire that takes the player up to the boss area is completely gone, along with all the objects inside of it, including the Ruined Dragon. Once again, the purpose of this scenario is unknown, but my guess would be that it was used to design and playtest the surroundings of the area. Darkside's 2nd scenario features part of the Carrot Tower completely missing. The doors to the sub-areas are missing and the loading zones are missing as well. I think this scenario is used for the developers to create a layout of the surroundings and the builds before they place the sub-areas into the kingdom, but that's of course my guess. Darker Side second scenario has the craziest, most insane, absolutely diabolical difference. Pauline is missing. 2 bits of unused audio are left over in Odyssey's game files. The first is an unused audio file that would have played when 2D Mario collects the multi-moon during the New Donk City Festival. The second unused audio file is heard at the game's E3 2017 demo. It's simply the New Donk City theme, but some of the instruments have been removed with just the piano and trombone remaining. Although there aren't many unused moons left over in the game files of Super Mario Odyssey, there is one exception to this. Throughout Super Mario Odyssey are 3 different Koopa tracing minigames. The first in Sand Kingdom is a circle, the second in Snow Kingdom is a triangle, and the third in Moon Kingdom goes back to a circle. This, however, wasn't always the case. Found by Skelix, the Moon Kingdom Koopa tracing moon was actually originally a star and would have been incredibly difficult. This moon was probably changed due to its high difficulty, as even Skelix was struggling a bit with this moon.